We'll just do it live like we always do. On a Saturday morning, we'll slip into the night. Good something, everybody. This is episode, I believe it's 35 of Slip into the Night. Here be dragons. They're going to come and eat you. What's that shirt or poster say? Because you are crunchy and taste good with ketchup or some shit like that. They're gonna eat you. Dragons. I don't fucking know.
I don't know.
It's been strange times in the world, about that much I know. Strange times. How long has it been since we did a show? We didn't do one last week, right, Holly?
No, we didn't do one last week. I was kind of tired and not feeling well on Saturday, and you also had family stuff going on. So
it's been crazy times.
And it was actually, I needed that every once in a while. I need like a reset day, and I needed that, so it was good.
Yeah. So we decided to get together and do a show today about dragons, the mythical beasts, the lands of yore, the lands that time forgot. I still think, by the way, that we should do like a journey to the center of the earth type show, but base it on like the fiction.
The book.
We should do like the books. We should pick like one of the books and read it, because I am starting my book club.
Congratulations. That's very exciting.
Yeah. I've been wanting to do it for a while, and it isn't like it exploded or anything, but I've got, a few people have shown some interest, and I've got like almost 20 people in there now. And there's quite a few people at this point engaging, and I'm going to start off with the short novel that John W. Campbell wrote, that they based the movie The Thing on. And my son's going to join me to do the video for that. So he's ready to. Yeah.
Nice.
So he's going to join me for my first one. I asked him if he'd do it, and he said yeah, because he was really excited about reading it, and he really enjoyed it. So it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
What's that?
I said I haven't been reading a lot of fiction, and I sometimes are so tired that I start to read and I just fall right asleep.
Yeah. It depends on what time of day it is or where I'm at. But I found one thing I found when I read, if I start getting sleepy and it's a time when I'm not trying to read to fall asleep, if I just reset myself a little bit, like kind of do something to wake myself up, it resets me. And then I can continue reading without, getting groggier and groggier and groggier. But if I want to get tired to read, I just let it go.
Yeah.
And then before long, I'm either falling asleep with my Kindle in my hands, or I'm setting it down on my desk and just going to sleep.
Yeah. Well, that's half the reason why my glasses are bent, because I've fallen asleep reading
that's the thing. I don't need glasses to read.
Oh yeah.
So I can just take mine off when I get into bed in case I fall asleep. Because I'm wicked about that. I don't like falling asleep with my glasses on, because I've ruined pairs of glasses before and had no backups, and
yeah, me too.
So I've had those issues before in the past, and I don't want to do that anytime soon. So Holly had what's that?
You're working on your book club, and then sometimes on my own YouTube, I have occasionally posting just a straight up astrology video. So anyone who listens who wants that can go there. And what were you going to say? I interrupted you.
No, I was going to say that I was going to introduce your astrology stuff.
Oh, well, on the same wavelength.
Did it for me. Because I wanted to let everybody know that you are doing that. What's your YouTube channel?
Holly Go Nightly, and
Holly.
it's Holly Go
It,
Nightly. It is, which
okay.
is my fictional last name, but I think it's funny. So,
Oh, okay. So it's the one that you comment on the show with.
yep,
Okay,
yeah.
so do me a favor and comment on this show after so I can click on your link
Mm.
and then I'll put the link underneath the show.
I only have like 2 videos up, and
That's
it's
okay.
it's it's pure astrology interest stuff. So that may not be this audience.
Yeah,
And
but
it's going to be historical in nature. I'm not do right now. I'm not doing. Well, I don't know. I might do some current events. Like I might say like this is what's going on. I might do a video on the eclipse. But I did one on a progressed horoscope, and I did one on the horoscope of Edward, Duke of Windsor, who was the abdicated king of England, and how the astrology matches up with his life story.
Mhm.
And so it'll be. So if you have an interest in history and an interest in astrology, it might be something you'd like to listen to.
For you all to check out. You can give me the links to those too, and I'll post them on the like page for you if you ever want me to throw them up there. So.
Sure.
But yeah, and then so we were trying to decide on what to do, and you had wanted to do something on the remote viewing shit. What was it, Project Yellow Box or something?
I heard about this Project Yellow Box, and it is about. It may be a completely made up story. I don't know because I tried to find. It was an interesting thing,
Well,
but
listen, there's all kinds of those though, and there's some of them that hold credence. Like I was reading about one, this weird little conspiracy thing, like this Lake City quiet pills thing.
Mhm.
I was checking into that one at one point, and it's like you start going down some of these rabbit holes with some of these conspiracy theories or these ideas, and then you're just like, whoa, what's going on? But sometimes you never know if it's just a bullshit story made up for the internet.
Yes. And so this Project Yellow Box thing was where it was either developed or found these 3 yellow boxes, and they are located across the globe in 3 different places, one in the United States, one in Europe, one in Australia. And they project into the future. And they've been around for a while, and the kind of powers that be elite track what these yellow box things project into the future. And they have all 3 have been in agreement until recently, and now there's one that's diverging out
From the other
and
two.
from the other 2.
Is this like Minority Report?
I don't know. And it was like
Sounds
this,
a lot like Minority Report to me.
it could be. I don't
Sounds like
know.
somebody took the plot to Minority Report and put it on the internet as like boxes instead.
Yeah, and then I went to see and corroborate this story with other things, and I couldn't find anything else. And I'm like, I think this is a complete hoax.
I mean, we could do something on remote viewing in the future. There's that whole, the whole thing there, the movie, The Men Who Stare at Goats. That's based on a real thing. Like a real dude was behind all that. They wanted them to like look at warfare in a completely different way, and they gave him a lot of leeway. This guy that the Jeff Bridges character in that movie is based on, because I did a lot of research onto it for the show.
Right. Well, I mean, there's ongoing conversations about psyop projects,
Mhm.
and so there has to be some level of truth to that. I just don't know to what extent.
Right.
And it's really interesting with all this like kind of like governmental like soft disclosure or like blatant disclosure that's kind of happening lately. Like, oh yeah, we're seeing UFOs.
Right.
But it's not even being noticed because everyone this is pretty much already accepted that there's something unidentified out there.
I'm pretty sure that's why they did it at this point. They're like, people realize that the universe is huge.
Mm-hmm.
It's insanely massive.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's just like the idea that there isn't just the possibility, the statistical probability. It's so likely.
Mm-hmm.
At this, you can't deny it to me. You can't. So
Mm-hmm.
I figure that's why they did it at this point. They're just like, fuck it, everybody knows anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
We just don't know what.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. So I don't know. I
So
I
it
think
is
it's all interesting.
it is, yeah, it is all interesting. It is such an insanely huge universe, and that gets us back. We pretty much view dragons as mythological, made up creatures. But then, could it be an extinct species really? Like they found dinosaurs, or is it something else? And
I personally, I mean, in my personal opinion, I think if anything, uh, the dragon creature that people speak about, or from the days of our past, I think they are either like sort of mistaken identity thing. Either either a leftover dinosaur, maybe like a terror bird type thing. Because you
Mhm.
got to remember too, the thing that always fascinates me is the Chinese dragons are they're kind of snake like, and they almost look like they have feathers. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I wonder if
very
like,
different.
yeah, I wonder if like some of these dragons were actually like the evolving dinosaurs becoming birds,
Hmm.
you know. And I mean that is just as terrifying. If you've seen some of these the terror birds that roamed the Americas, holy shit. Things were massive and they'd have killed you very easily.
Hmm.
Very, very easily. So I don't know. That's where I tend to go with it. I tend to think is like a misidentification thing, and then I think in some cases with a lot of these legends, as with a lot of other things, you wind up getting a creature is like a symbol, and it's used in like tales for like fables and shit.
Hmm.
So that's where I go with it.
Hmm.
Either I see it as a misidentified something else,
Hmm.
which I mean, hey, that if it's misidentified and if it's something we don't know about, fuck, let's call it a dragon. If that's the
Hmm.
case, that's my
Right.
also my take on it. Um, but I don't know. I don't know, and I do think some of them were used as symbols in stories to some degree. But there was a guy just on Joe Rogan who argued the point. He was like, "Listen, people talked about him all over. Like, I mean, there could be some truth to it." So,
Right. So it's almost like across the earth, lots of cultures have a dragon or dragon-like being that they are very large, very powerful, somewhat reptilian. Um, but seem to be extinct. And is it just that they found dinosaur bones and kind of put them together and then said, okay, well, there was something here? Or were they interacting with something potentially? Um, there's lots of story. We had an episode on reptilian aliens. That
yeah.
there's a big faction of people who believe in reptilian aliens, and is there a crossover there, or is it purely like um, an energetic thing where lots of cultures also believe in these purely energetic beings like the fairies, the the lake monsters.
Mm-hmm.
um it's just interesting with dragons. There tends to be a lot of kind of crossover symbolism of like the hoarding of treasure, materialism, wisdom. um
And
you have
it crosses all kinds of cultures. Like you find them down in the South American tribes. You find them uh, in the Chinese legends. pretty sure the Japanese legends have dragons in them.
Yeah.
Of course, you've got the medieval European cultures who had depicted dragons all over the place.
Hmm.
Um, they're all over.
Hmm.
And like you're saying, it just crosses so many boundaries. And like I was saying, it's at this point, I think it's a total possibility. There was something. I don't know that it was a quote unquote dragon. You know what I mean? Like, but I imagine that there was something.
What is that creature in some of those big unexplored swamps in the middle of Africa? The
Oh,
Ndenge,
Ogopogo?
not Ogopogo, but the Ndenge. You know what I
Uh,
mean? They look like brontosaurs or something like that, or they're
yeah,
big.
that's oh, not Ogopogo. Mokele and Bembe.
That's it, the Mokele and Mbembe.
Why did it take me so long to get to that? I did a whole show on that where I like yelled out Mokele and Bembe like 50 times.
uh, but that is kind of like the spaces. Not only is it a potential like living dinosaur, and they've found other very old species of these kind of like relic species in the oceans, and it's
Hmm.
possible that in a very swampy area like in the middle of Africa there could be a dinosaur like species still in existence, but could be a
That
something
might be
that's
hiding
been.
out. Well,
Yeah.
there's enough space over there. Like that's where the gorillas hid out for the longest time. Like people that would talked about gorillas, said that there were these things in the woods, and they didn't find them until what was like the early 1900s, I think,
Hmm.
was when they
Yeah.
found gorillas.
There are still species that they say that are out there, but they don't. They are very rarely seen by humans, and
And
they
yeah,
are
and
discovering them.
we're finding stuff all the time.
Yeah.
We're the I've said before, you want to find stuff, look in the ocean to find new, cool, interesting shit. They find like new species of stuff that's just like something new all the time. Like, but they're just a little different than something else that's already here. It's not the finds that they're making, like they're not like, to me, it's not like insanely groundbreaking. You want to find something that's wacky and out there for a creature. Look under the fucking ocean. There's
Yeah.
some crazy shit under there.
Hmm. Yeah.
I mean, God.
Yeah. But I mean, I think there are a few kind of these mythological creatures that really keep capture people's imaginations than the dragons, because they show up in all kinds of literature, and
Well, yeah, and like you were saying, either there's something to be defeated, or there's
hmm.
something to that you need to quest after for their knowledge or whatever,
Hmm.
or their
Yeah.
power, their treasure, whatever the case may be. Like I said, I think some of it I think is symbolism,
Hmm.
and I think some of it might have some basis in fact, like some
Yeah.
actual things.
Yeah. And I think some of like the in the Asian culture uses of it, where they talk about like dragon lines and dragon energy, and like their feng shui specialists, where they are looking at the energetic dynamics of space. And they will have these feng shui specialists who will talk about dragon energies as energetic movements or energetic entities, not physical beings but energetic beings. And they will say, okay, well, you need to like move this plant or change, put a doorway here so that you
More like
can.
a spiritual being.
Yeah, spiritual being, so that you can have better flow and it will bring you luck. And there's like a whole school of thought around those feng shui processes, and how these dragon lines and dragon energies are moving through space, and how to manipulate the space and create um, structures to work with the dragon energies. And there are ley lines that are called dragon lines, which that is almost its own topic, are the ley lines of the earth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the lines of power, or as they're known.
Hmm.
I mean, I think and I don't know. Like with a lot of that stuff, I just don't know. I because I've interacted with some of those things, those quote unquote energies. I just don't know when it comes to like ley lines and stuff like that. I think there's inherent power everywhere, sort of thing. But I could be wrong. I'm also willing to accept that I could be wrong on that one. That just in my experience, I've seen energy pretty much everywhere. So
Right. So I think that the ley lines are this train of thought that, like rivers of water, like there's water everywhere, but it does pool and collect and form currents
across the planet.
across the planet. So it is like the feng shui ideas are to um, work with these currents for maximum effect, beneficial effect.
Maybe we should get a feng shui expert to feng shui my desk to channel my dragon energy. I think we should.
That
I mean,
is an interesting idea.
my desk is a disaster most days.
Yeah. Well,
Seriously though, like there's people that do that type of shit though.
well, no,
Like
you can hire feng shui specialists, and oftentimes, especially in Asia, where this school of energy work in philosophy originated, they will hire a business that is not doing well, will hire a feng shui specialist to go and look at the plan of the building and reorient it so that it is
so it has better energy.
better, more auspicious.
Oh,
I mean, you can buy those like
ooh.
little, they could do your whole house. There's also those like little fun books that you can like read, and they'll give you like quick tips, but
On how to feng shui.
on how to feng shui. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how much validity there is to it. I think as with anything, if you as with a lot of things that are in that vein, if you put the energy into it and you believe in it to some degree, you're going to create change in your own life. And that energy process, that directing of energy that you do, I think is the important part of the whole process.
Mm-hmm.
But I think in doing that or in learning to do that, maybe there's a process for people that could be very beneficial,
Mm-hmm.
and understanding it.
Right. Well, I think it brings a greater like tuning into your environment,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of it is setting things up so that you feel comfortable in your environment.
Right.
And in tune with the nature of your environment.
Should I get one of those little waterfall things, those fake waterfalls for my desk? Would that feng shui me?
I
Feng
think there
shui?
is something about waterfalls and feng shui.
Yeah, like or those little rock gardens. That's what I need on my desk, Holly. I need a rock garden.
Like the little Japanese.
Yeah. You got a cat walking across the
No, I was
keyboard?
typing.
Oh, I was gonna say. I heard that. I was like, what? One of the cats running across your keyboard or something?
No, they're sleeping on my bed right now. They are right now. This is a good time because this is the cats.
This is their downtime.
This is their downtime.
This is nap time.
Yeah, and it's funny because I tried to do one of these astrology videos on my own channel, and I'm talking along, and all of a sudden, one of the cats decides to jump on my back, claws out, and I'm like screaming in this video.
Oh,
I had to delete it.
Oh my god!
I was like 30 minutes in talking about this astrology chart, and I'm like, "Oh my god, you're such dinks!"
Oh yeah. I've had some wicked ones. There was one time I was doing something way back when I first started on my other channel, and my dog back when I was married was on the bed and just started making like these horrible noises. And I just turned around and I was like, really? Like, what the fuck?
Well, and these are Siamese, and Siamese are just really vocal in general.
Yeah, and they're crazy. Let's face facts. Siamese cats are crazy.
And they're a father and a son. They're both neutered, and 90% of the time they get along, but every once in a while they have a dominance fight, and they will start yowling like demons at each other.
Oh, I'm sure.
So I just looked up in feng shui, the dragon is one of 4 celestial animals and is ranked as one of the most powerful symbols of yang energy. It is an auspicious symbol to symbolize authoritative power, nobility, success, divine protection, wealth, and plentiful opportunities. And you should put a dragon symbol in your office workspace or in the living room of your house. Don't put them in the bedroom because the yang energy, which is more of a masculine energy, is too strong, and it's too energetic, so it might affect your sleep. So you don't want to put dragon images in your bedroom. You want to put them
damn it.
in a place like where you're going to do activities. And unless you're looking for romance luck or basically to get lucky, then maybe you want to have a dragon in your bedroom. But you should couple it with a phoenix, because together the dragon and the phoenix is partnership bliss. So if you need that kind of advice, that's on
that type of energy.
Yep. Yeah. And do not ever buy a carpet that has a dragon picture on it, because if you step on a dragon, that is showing disrespect to this celestial being, and it will bring you bad luck.
I'll have to keep that in mind.
Okay.
Next time I get a carpet with a dragon on it that ties the room together.
You hang it on your wall. Don't you put it on the floor?
That's right. I won't put it on the floor. I'll hang it on the wall.
Okay.
I want to follow good dragon energy etiquette.
Absolutely. And do not ever put it in your bathroom. Forward. That's another bad etiquette thing.
I don't want to you don't want a dragon in the bathroom?
No. It's too celestial for your potty.
It's too celestial for your for the horrors that come out of your anus.
I don't know about my. I don't have that kind of a problem, but you speak for yourself. But
you don't want dragons in the bathroom because they represent fire, and that is the last thing you want.
Well, no, but I think they are considered a wise being, a wise, venerated being. So what the feng shui authorities are saying is that's not what you're going to mix with your.
You don't want that in there.
Personal time.
Yeah, I agree. I think I can be down. I don't know.
So the next time you go to the curio shop and you find that really cool dragon statuette that you just have to have, remember, it is not respectful to the dragon to put it in front of your potty.
I will try to remember that for when
I can't believe we're talking about this.
Well, slow
Saturday. Sorry, folks. Whoever.
Well, it is what
we have 0 live listeners, I believe, at this moment, so it's okay.
I think we got one. Oh. But it just, it's fun. It's fun to talk about. That's what I like about this stuff. Okay, they're fun subjects to talk about, and whether or not there's any validity to it, or if it's just total bullshit. There are a whole belief system structured around this stuff. There's a whole culture of people that believe in this feng shui and the dragon energy and all this shit. So it exists. It's not like it's a mythical thing that is made up. It's out there. These legends about dragons, they exist. They are out there. Whether or not they're real, that's the question. That's the thing that people the question that people have to ask themselves or look into. What is it? And when you had brought it up, like I thought back to that show that Joe Rogan did. I can't remember who was on it, but he was like, listen, there are so many stories about these things, and they're everywhere. There's got to be some validity to it. So I think there might be something. I don't know if it's a quote unquote dragon, but I think it's something.
Yeah. And I am not making, I think feng shui is super cool. I am not making fun of feng shui practitioners at all.
Oh, no.
And certainly I think, if that's your culture, that's a really awesome, that depth of culture, because I think it's been practiced for like hundreds to thousands of years. It is amazing. And it's of itself that it has held the test of time.
Hey, do whatever makes you feel happy. As long as you're not hurting anybody else or yourself, I think, hey, do whatever the fuck you want. I think these systems should be a way to, grow. And if there are whole magical systems, or quote unquote magical systems, spiritual systems that are based around magic, dragon energies, dragon entities.
Absolutely.
So this is way bigger than just this. And we could go into all that. Like I have a book on that one, I think. Did I give you that one?
You have not given me dragon books.
I didn't give you the dragon book?
No, but I'd love it if you have it.
I'll look for it.
I think dragons are like.
I think it's over there in my pile. If it is, it's yours.
The kind of the way the dragon spirituality is, or how it's used in spirituality in different cultures is super interesting, which is why I suggested this topic.
Yeah.
In a lot of cultures, it's a very revered spiritual being that's that you want as an ally, that you want as a a protector, a guide. It's so kind of investigating that is very interesting to me.
Yeah. No, I think it'd be cool if we did a show on the actual like spiritual the belief structure there. Because I know there's a whole system that people wrote up about it. So it'd be interesting to go through it. Like actually take a whole episode and go through it. But I'm gonna cut us short today. I got some personal stuff going on today, so I want to be available. But thank you all for joining us, as always. We should be back next Saturday. I'm hoping. Any ideas for topics, Holly? I'm gonna try to find you that dragon book right after the show. I'm gonna take my headphones off and run over to that fucking bookcase and see if I have that book.
All right. I need to think about a topic and we can consult.
Yeah, we'll talk after the show.
Chat after.
But I should be live tomorrow night, barring any like emergencies that come up. But with a show about whether or not we are in the Matrix, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you can join us for that. And until next Saturday.
Oh, and it's solstice today too.
Oh, solstice.
Summer solstice.
Go celebrate some solstice. It's sunny as shit outside my house.
Yes.
And you on the 40 and Slip like page, you can see the beautiful sunrise from this morning on the beach. So until next week, from Holly and myself, be good to each other, everybody.